Hey guys, welcome back once again to Lauren Levels Up. If you're new here, thank you very much for joining. I have for you today this look, which is basically a really quick, simple and easy bronze toned smoky eye. So this would be perfect for those of you guys who have maybe been afraid to try out this look for whatever reason that may be. This is so easy, just relatively few products used and really simple technique, so anyone really can give this look a go. Don't be afraid to try out the smoky eye. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video today, to like, comment and subscribe, and if you would like to know how I achieved this look, then please stay with me. So I have gone ahead and primed my eyelids using my Tarte Shape Tape just to neutralize any color that's already in my eyelids. I'm going to set just the top part with a little bit of my Hourglass powder. The reason I'm only setting the top, kind of the crease upwards, is because I'm going to be using a cream shadow. Just a little tiny bit in the crease there as well. There we go. Next, to form the base of our eyeshadow look, I'm taking this cream eyeshadow stick by Kiko, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's in this really gorgeous kind of iridescent neutral bronzy tone. So I really am just going to start drawing that on to my eyelid, just onto the free lid, you know, this basically the part of your eyelid skin that covers your actual eyeball. So I'm not taking it up into the crease, just not neatly at all, scribbling that on like so. And then I'm just going to take a clean brush and just run that lightly over the edges just to blend them out slightly. And then I'm going to go back in, just intensify it very slightly. This time I'm going to keep mostly to the outer part of my eye, but it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and blend the edges of that away so it's not looking too harsh. Next up, I have the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And the first colour I'm going to take is this one right here, which is called Hazelnut. And this is just a really true bronze with a bit more warmth in it than the cream eyeshadow that we just applied. So I am literally just going to pick up some of that colour on my finger. I told you this was simple, didn't I? And I'm going to go ahead and press that over the top of that cream shadow. And not only is it going to set that cream shadow, it's also going to intensify the colour of the whole look as well. Again, I'm not being neat with this at all. Just pressing it on, maybe in 2 or 3 goes. Making sure to cover the whole lid space. So you can see now we're getting that depth of colour already. And then I'm going to take my bronzer and I'm going to use, I would normally use the Bahama Mama bronzer, but I think I want something a little bit more warm toned. So I'm going to use my Urban Decay Beached bronzer instead, and on just a fluffy crease brush, pick up some of that colour and then just run it through the crease, blending it into the edges of that shadow that we just applied. And it's just going to blend away any of the harsh lines that we created using that other shadow. And the good thing about doing your eyes first is that you can make as much mess as you want and then just clean it up and do your base afterwards. So just carrying on, smoking out that crease. And then just having a little look, see if it all looks the same. Okay. At this point, I just want to deepen up the inner and outer corners. So I'm just taking a slightly smaller, in fact, no, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use something a little bit more precise. So let's see. I'll use this little kind of smudger pencil brush. And I'm going to dip into this colour here, which is Eau Chocolat, I think you pronounce it. And it's basically just a slightly deeper bronze tone than the hazelnut colour that we were just using. So just picking up a little bit of that product, testing out how it looks on the back of my hand first, how deep it's coming out. And then I'm just going to take that little brush and just work it into the corner in the inside, and then also pressing it in a C shape onto the outer, well, the outer C of my eye, I suppose. And all it's doing is just slightly creating a bit more shape and dimension in the eye, because we've got that darker inner and outer corner. It just gives it the whole thing a little bit more of a 3D look. But again, I'm not being very neat. I really am just pressing it onto those areas. It's kind of the beauty of a smoky eye, really. That's that part done. And then I think at this point I'm going to go back in with my fluffy crease brush, just to blend that away again with my bronzer. Not going to spend quite as much time this time, but really just windscreen wiper motions backwards and forwards. And then just bring it out slightly towards the tail of my brow. Next, to make this look a little bit deeper and more sultry, I'm going to go in with a black eyeliner, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Darkside Waterproof Gel Liner, which is a bit of a mouthful. And I'm going to line top and bottom waterlines with it. First of all. Again, I'm not being careful because we're going to smudge this black colour out anyway. I really do need to learn how to do eyeliner with one hand. I see people do it all the time and I'm always terribly impressed. And just because I have such wide eyes and I want to close them up a tiny bit and just give them that more sultry shape, do you see the part of my eye here which comes up towards the corner? I'm just going to draw straight across that, and all that's going to do is just help to give my eyes more of a straight shape along the bottom and less round, just to make things look a little bit sexier as opposed to that kind of doe-eyed look. So again, very messy and smudgy, and we're just going to go over the top lash line with this black as well, just working it into that upper lash line, getting in between all the lashes. At which point I'm going to take a small angled brush, and this one is from NYX. And you can use either a black or a dark brown shadow. I'm just using the colour Triple Fudge from the same chocolate bar palette, just because that's what's in front of me and it's a nice rich dark colour. And then on the edge of that liner, just go ahead and just drag that colour through and kind of try and work it in and merge those colours together. So at this point, I'm going to leave eyes and go onto my base, purely because I think when you have the base on, it's easy to see what else you need to do to finish things, if that makes sense. All I've done is clean up underneath my eyes with a damp face cloth. Literally, I just got my finger, swiped underneath, just to clean up any of that fallout from the powder shadows that we'd used, really. So I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, finish my base, and then I will come back to you and show you how we finish off this very easy eye look. So as you can see, my base and my brows are on. I did just want to stick to the eye look for this video for you guys, just to save a bit of time. But if you do want to know exactly how I go about doing my base, then in any of my other full face tutorials, you can find that information there. Or if you really want to, I can do a more in-depth tutorial on how I do my base exactly. If you do want that, let me know in the comments below, and I will certainly do that for you. In terms of my base, I didn't go for a particularly vibrant blush. I just wanted something neutral. I actually chose just to use my Urban Decay bronzer as my blush for this look, just because I wanted to par it down a bit and make things a little bit less conflicting. So we will continue now with eyes, and let's have a look where we're up to. So I'm just going to take that crease brush again, now that we've got the base on, and just run it backwards and forwards just to diffuse out any edges we might have created putting on our foundation, for example at these outer edges here. And then just to create a really seamless blend, I'm going to get just a little bit of flesh toned powder. So I'm just going to use my Hourglass setting powder, the translucent powder, so it has no real colour to it. But right at the edge of that crease here, I'm just going to run that through to really diffuse that colour out, so we've got no harsh lines anywhere, because that's something you really need to avoid when you're doing a smoky eye. Just translucent powder backwards and forwards on the upper edge of that. Sorry about all the noise, by the way, in the background of my videos. I don't know whether you can hear that helicopter going past. I live really near the biggest hospital on the island, which does mean quite a lot of helicopter traffic. So I'll apologise for the noise, but I'm not going to apologise for them heroes that are saving lives. So you go, guys. Next up, I think I'm going to use a little bit of the highlighter that I used. I used on my face the NYX Born to Glow palette. So what I'm going to do is just I used a mixture of this golden and champagne-y pink tone here. So to finish my eyes, I'm going to take kind of a smudger brush, dip into both of those colours, as I did for my face. Just going to pop some of that on my inner corner, take it up into the shadow. Same again here, bring it up into the shadow, just to blend it in a bit. Tiny bit more on the end of the brush again, and then at the very high point of the arch of my brow, just going to pull some of that through there. Just the tiniest bit, just to catch the light, that's all, when I'm moving. At this point I'm going to pop on some mascara, and I think I didn't actually do this when I wore this look the other day, but I am going to add some lashes to it just to show you guys how you can amp it up if you want to. And again, if you want me to do a video on how I go about putting on lashes, then I can certainly do that. So I'm going to pop on some mascara, always curling my lashes, but I'm not going to put loads of mascara on because I want to add those lashes. There's just no need to use all of that extra product. Too Faced, Better Than Sex mascara, as is always the case. Those of you who know me know that this is always my go-to mascara. So at this point I want to go ahead and smoke out that lower lash line. So we're going to start with kind of a lighter colour that we're going to blend out into the whole of the lower lash line area, and the brushes that we use are just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, so that we can really kind of smudge in those darker colours. So the first size brush I'm going to use is my kind of smaller fluffy crease brush that I have, and I'm going to dip in to my bronzer, the bronzer that we used in the crease, and I'm just going to sweep that backwards and forwards underneath the whole of the eye shape. And all this colour is going to do is just put some depth and shape back into the underneath of the eye, because when we put our base on, it tends to make the area look a little bit flat. So we just need to put some dimension back in there. Again, like the rest of this look, not being neat, just smudging away there. And then the next brush I'm going to use is the smaller kind of smudgy pencil brush that I used in the inner and outer corners of my eyes. And I'm going to use the same colour that we used to deepen those inner and outer corners. So that is the Eau de Chocolat, or however you say it, tone from my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And this colour I'm going to start at the very outer corner of my eye, getting much, much closer to that black liner that we put in. Joining it up as well with the top, and then just bringing it with whatever's left on the brush towards the centre of the eye. Same again on the other side. Starting at the outer corner, connecting up, and then whatever's left on the brush, bring it down towards the centre. And we're getting smokier. And then finally, I'm going to take my little skinny angled brush again, dip into the darkest colour that I used to smudge out the liner on the top of my eyes, and I'm going to like smudge that right in between all of the lashes on my lower lash line where we applied that black pencil liner. And then I'm just going to go back in and freshen up that black liner. So at this point I'm going to now pop on a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes. Can afford to be a little bit heavier handed than usual because it is a stronger eye look. Okay, so if you really wanted to, you could leave eyes at this point. If you're not that familiar with wearing lashes, or simply if you just don't have time, this would be totally fine. But I am going to go and pop on some lashes, do my lips, and then I will come back and talk to you guys when I am all done. So as you can see, our lips and lashes are now on, both of which I will link down in the info box below for you if you want to know what things I have used. And now it really is time just for little finishing touches. So looking at things, I think really the only extra thing that I want to do is just add a little bit of, this is my NYX liquid liner, and all I'm going to do is just put the tiniest bit of that on top of the lash band, just to really blend it in and make sure that it's totally indistinguishable from the makeup. Across the visible parts of that lash band. So this right here, guys, is the final look for you. Just a really, really quick and easy smoky eye. When I'm not talking away to you guys, this look literally took me like 10 minutes. And if you practice, because I literally just kind of pulled this straight out of the bag on the day that I needed it. But if this is something that you want to do on more of a regular basis, then this really could be the quickest look ever for you if it's something that you want to do on a regular basis. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, then please like this video and or leave me a comment below. And if you'd like to see more from me every Wednesday at Lauren Levels Up, then you can subscribe to my channel to see more from me in the near future. But for now, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday.